Hey, I was going through my morning emails and I came across some stories that I thought you might want to know about. What are they? Let's find out next. Dave Edwards, Treasure Valley Dave here, and today I'm going through my emails like I'm sure everybody does first thing in the morning, and I came across some stories, and they kind of have to do with the Treasure Valley, stuff that might affect housing, and I wanted to share those with you. So let's just go ahead and dive into it as soon as we talk about if you're thinking about maybe that the Treasure Valley would be a place that you'd be interested in moving to and you just need some more information to kind of figure out if this is the right place, feel free to give us a holler. Give us a call, text, email, whatever it takes. Come on up and visit us. That would be fantastic too. Treasure Valley Marine, Treasure Valley Stephen, me, we've all made the relocation journey. And we may even have answers that you didn't even know you had questions to yet. So let's jump right into this story over here. I signed up for morning emails from Boise Dev, and I would suggest you guys do it too if you want to kind of get a feel for more of the development aspects of what's going on in the Treasure Valley, but it's much more than that as well. And you can go to www.boisedev.com, boisedev.com, and sign up for the newsletter. You'll see something just like this here. And I highly recommend it. They have some great information. It's not news as junk you're going to see on the TV, but this is more different kind of stuff. I think it's very, very valuable. Today, they always tell us what the weather is, and that's kind of handy. Here's a story on major crime going on in Boise. We have these two moms that stole a sign from a drive-through restaurant, and then they posed with it on social media. So now the police are out looking for them. That's one aspect of crime that we have here in the Boise area. Here's our governor. He's launching this Operation Esto Perpetua. Please help me if I'm mispronouncing that, as I'm sure I probably am. But he's cracking down on drugs that are out on the street, meth and fentanyl. And I'm not sure what all's going to happen with that. I mean, compare that to our neighbor, Oregon, which has just made everything completely legal, like heroin and stuff like that. Certainly weed for sure. So Idaho's a little bit different. We're trying to not make this a drug haven, and then all the problems that come along with that. So, best of luck to them for that. And we do love our pets up here. They're looking for people to foster their pets. And this is the West Valley Humane Society in Caldwell. We've been over there many times. Mrs. Treasure Valley Dave gets that urge to, go see pets and dogs and cats and pet them. And so we've been there many a time. And you're going to see it. It's right down the street from DMV. So when you go over there to get your new plates, just go on over and see these folks. Maybe you'll come away with a new fur baby. I thought this was interesting too, is that they provide all the food, bedding, medical supplies, and other materials when you foster a pet. So the only thing that's required is some shelter and some love. So we've got gas prices, fuel up Friday. Ada County is looking at $3.69 as of today. Today is March 4th, by the way. But now here's some of this stuff that we're getting into. There's bills going through the legislature that would bar cities from enacting individual building codes and move authority to the legislature. So I clicked on that and go right to this pretty in-depth story. I find that Boise Dev isn't really biased one way or another. They usually just put it out there and let you figure out what you think about it. What a concept. So what this story is about is that they're trying to make it so that individual communities can't make more restrictive building codes than what the state would allow for. And that if you do want to change the codes, there's a deliberative process that goes up to the legislature to make those changes. And what are some of the things that we could be talking about? Well, could be something like Boise's has a new requirement that all homes have to be have a high voltage plug for charging vehicles, and that would be one of the things that would not be part of the building codes. So this says every new house has to have that, and I don't know, there's not that many electric cars out there, and I understand the big push to go green, but forcing the cost for someone's political agenda shouldn't be borne out by the contractors and the home buyers, because that's going to drive home prices up, which will in turn make rental prices go up. So the same people that want affordable housing are pushing prices up. And this Republican legislator is proposing these bills to make sure that those kind of things just don't happen. It should be a consumer's choice. If I want a home that's more energy efficient, that's my decision. And that's Representative Sage Dixon. This Terry Ottens from the Building Safety Professionals of Southwest Idaho, sounds like a lobbying organization, said that this will be dragging Idaho backwards in time because they want us to progress to the future because they're progressive. She argues that requiring legislative approval on building codes means that Idaho's requirements might not be the most current and will make the complex process of approving a code more difficult by adding a layer of politics on top of a lengthy process with industry experts and other stakeholders for approval. So essentially what she's saying is that it's going to by having the people's representatives have a voice in what's going on, is going to slow it down and take away some of the power from the experts. And, experts are great. They're the ones that told us that masks were good, the masks were bad, the masks were good. They're the ones that said that, you can pull up your own examples of what experts tell us, and then they turn around to be wrong. Every time, over and over again. So I think it might be a good idea to have some representatives of the people involved in the process. Maybe that's something that you can comment on in the comments. Do you think that would be a good thing to have your voice heard, or is it okay just to let experts take over and make all the decisions regarding your life, regarding what your house costs, things like that, without any input from you? So, and I think, that's kind of the gist of this story. But I found another story from Boise Deb, and I thought it was pretty cool too, is over in Boise, the planning and zoning hearings are going to be cut back because there's too much going on over planning and zoning, too much for them to go through and review and approve or not approve or send back for changes or whatever. So because they have so much demand for projects, real estate projects over in Boise, because they have so much demand, the answer is to cut down the amount of stuff that they're going to process. So that means even more demand is going to be building up behind all the stuff that's already in the works because they don't have apparently enough staff, or the staff doesn't have the tools or the time to get these things done. So I understand that, yes, Boise, the Treasure Valley, is really a very popular place for people to move to. And that's obviously putting more pressure on the planning and zoning staff and that whole process. But my question, there's always all these unintended consequences, right? So if you're building houses or apartments or something like that, and it's going to take more and more time. We're talking like maybe going from months to years to get something approved. Isn't that how it is in California? And so that's going to push people out of Boise into other areas, maybe Meridian. And that's going to put more pressure on Meridian to absorb these projects. and it could push it out even further into the Treasure Valley. So, unintended consequences, is this just a way to curtail growth in Boise? Maybe. But whatever it is going to have reverberations throughout the rest of the valley. We just mentioned that all these people are moving to the Treasure Valley, but you know what? There's apparently people moving from the Treasure Valley. So I came across this story. It was in my email this morning as well. It's no secret Boise is an incredible place to live. Well, that's very true. But there are Boiseans that are getting out of the Treasure Valley. Apparently so. Where are they going to? They're saying they're going to Salt Lake City. Okay. It's pretty nice there. There's a lot more traffic and a little bit more harsher winters there. Pocatello. Okay, there's less traffic there, but the winters are quite a bit harsher. It's a nice town. Idaho Falls, just north of Pocatello. Same story. Not that much population there. Winters are pretty brutal. Well, heck, the summers are pretty brutal. They got a lot of wind that blows through there. And you got to be pretty hardy. My hat's off to those folks. What about this one, though? Portland? People are moving to Portland from the Treasure Valley? Hang on. Hold that thought. What's the number one? Seattle. So who is it that lives in the Treasure Valley that is moving to Portland and Seattle? And then the question is why? Well, this article asked that exact same question. Why are they doing this? And they said some Boise residents have cited the cost of living as one of the main reasons, which, as the story points out, makes absolutely no sense because it's more expensive in Seattle and Portland than it is here in the Treasure Valley. Others say that they've lived in Boise their entire lives looking for a change of scenery. Okay. I mean, it's really nice here, but both those places are closer to the ocean. Maybe that's what they're going for. But I don't know. I mean, if I was going to go someplace, and then the next story in this queue, it just popped up. I thought you might get a kick out of this as well. It's like, what are the happiest cities in America? Apparently not everyone's happy with Boise, but where might they find happiness? I bet you never would have thought of this. Los Angeles, California. It's up there on the happiness scale. Seattle, Washington. Maybe that's why people from Boise are moving up there, because Boise didn't make this list, but Seattle did, and LA did. Maybe if I'm Boise, I don't want to be on the same list as Seattle and LA and Portland. Portland's happy too. Did you know that? Who's happy in Portland? I don't know. If throwing Molotov cocktails and burning down federal buildings is something that makes you happy, okay. Salt Lake City is happy. Alrighty. I mean, I know some happy people there, so why not? So that was just a quick look at my email box this morning. Thought you might enjoy that. Remember, if you're thinking that Idaho might be a place to check out, give us a holler. We'd be glad to answer your questions. Let's find out if it's something that you want to pursue further. And if it is, we're always here to help you. And if you like this video, go ahead and share it. Like and subscribe. That really means a lot and helps out the YouTube algorithm a lot to help other people find this content as well. So, well, this is Treasure Valley Dave on behalf of Treasure Valley Steven, Treasure Valley Marine, the whole Treasure Valley team. You know what I'm going to say. Looking forward to helping you get home